我哋所講嘅就係猶太人嘅一個逾節晚餐，
with what you know as the Last Supper.
就係好似聖經所講嘅最後的晚餐。
Try to go 2,000 years ago.
你想象下，回復翻2000年前，
Jesus and his disciples, they were all Jews.
由耶穌同佢門徒全部都係猶太人。
And as being Jews, they were celebrating the Jewish feasts.
咁啊，既然係猶太人，佢哋就要慶祝逾節。
And one of the Jewish feasts is the Passover.
咁啊，呢個節期其中一個就係逾節啦。
What is that Passover?
逾啲乜嘢？
God redeeming, actually saving the Israelites from being slaves in Egypt. He released them and made them free people.
就係咧，神拯救以色列人出嚟埃及，成為自由嘅人。
By the way, it's the first feast of the biblical calendar.
所以咧，按照猶太歷嘅第一個節期咧，
And God is telling the people of Israel from now on, you have to celebrate it every year.
咁啊，神吩咐以色列人話：從今日你哋每年都要慶祝，
And not only celebrate it, but also tell it, the story to your children.
唔單止慶祝啊，並且係要將整個故事咧講俾你嘅下一代知道。
And they should tell it to their children, so every generation knows that it was me, God, that saved you from being slaves in Egypt.
透過守節咧，就將呢件事一代傳一代，以至俾佢哋知道咧，呢位耶和華神就係救你脱離埃及為奴之地嘅神。
Now, as we said, Jesus and the disciples are Jewish.
所以正如我所講，耶穌同佢門徒都係猶太人。
And like hundreds of thousands of Jews, they also do pilgrimage to Jerusalem.
正如其他猶太人一樣，佢哋都會上耶路撒冷咧係朝聖守節。
Now, Jesus knew that he has to die on that Passover.
耶穌亦都知道咧喺逾節佢會死嘅。
And they come and they celebrate the Passover.
佢哋就喺呢刻咧慶祝逾節。
Now, what do we see here?
呢度見到啲咩咧？
This is the typical setting of how people would eat 2,000 years
呢
ago.
個就好似咧2000年前啲人食嘢咧就係咁樣嘅款㗎啦。
Now, I would like few volunteers to come and sit around that table.
我想咧邀請當中一啲嘅邊個自願咧
And what we're going to do,
趴喺度。
I will explain you how to do that.
我會解釋啊點樣做。
1 second, yeah, you can dress with that. You can
你
dress
可以
with
着
that.
上古裝。
Just this is called a traclinio. This is how it is called. We call it a traclinio.
我哋叫呢個就係叫做
Traclinio is 3 beds or sofas.
3個床或者係 sofa。
Now, how do you sit around it?
點樣坐圍住嚟坐咧？
Like that.
好似啊示範係點樣坐啊？
On your left side.
你哋用你左邊
Like that.
咁樣坐。
Okay? Everyone, one after the other.
係啦，就跟住左邊咁樣坐。
And how do you eat?
點樣食嘢咧？
With your hands.
用手去攞嘢食㗎。
Okay, so I would like, yes, at least 3 people to
所以
sit
一
here.
張梳化坐3個人。
好搞
Another
笑，
one to recline here. I need 3 people over here.
坐
You're in the wrong way.
呢度，坐啦，坐，唔緊要，我影有影。
另一方啊，大家要同一方向，左手撳住，係啦。係嗎？
哦，ladies。
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now, as I said, Jesus and his disciples are eating the Passover meal like that.
耶穌同佢門徒就好似咁樣食逾節晚餐㗎啦。
Now, we will try now to guess, because we don't know, but we're going to try and guess
我哋咧要估下
where Jesus and some of his disciples were sitting around the table.
耶穌喺咩地方同門徒咁樣食飯法咧？
How can we guess?
我哋點樣估啊？
Because there are 5 full chapters in the Gospel of John that speaks about the Last Supper.
因為咧淨係約翰福音已經用5章嘅篇幅咧講呢個最後嘅晚餐。
And they were talking.
因為當中咧佢哋喺度講好多嘢。
And we also know some of the rituals from the Roman period around the table where people supposed to sit.
咁咧喺當時嘅羅馬時代，啲人就係咁樣坐低咁樣食嘢嘅。
So as I said, we only guess, we're not sure.
我哋都係靠估。
But once again, first of all, you see that people are reclining.
所以啲人咧就咁樣挨喺度食嘢啦。
And they don't sit on tables with chairs and fork and knife.
佢哋咧唔係坐喺台凳嗰度咧，係揸住刀叉食嘢㗎。
Now, remember, this is Passover meal.
記住呢個係逾節嘅晚餐。
And I would start and say, when we talk about this type of sitting, reclining around the table during that time,
所以喺嗰個時代咁樣咧係挨喺度食嘢咧。
where does the most important person of the group supposed to sit?
咁咧呢一度最重要嘅係咩人坐喺度咧？
Any guess? Center. Okay.
係咪中央嗰個
Maybe there. The first one.
因為第一個咧。
Okay, so from what we understand from the Roman period, it's actually at the left side of the center, not the first one,
按
but
照
at
羅
the
馬人
center.
嘅習慣，因為係左邊。
Okay, so we guess that this is Jesus.
Oh Jesus！
When we talk about sitting around, it's true that we speak about the most important people in the table start from the left side all the way to the right side.
所以最重要嘅人物咧就係坐左邊咁樣開始數落去嘅。
So why this is not Jesus then?
點解第一個唔係耶穌咧？
Because as much as we understand from those days, there was always someone sitting to the right side of the most important person.
因為咧係最重要嘅人咧應該係喺即係右邊嗰個呢邊係左邊，左邊嘅右邊嗰個。
It's a concept of like his right hand.
就係話好似係佢嘅右手咁樣。
It comes also from the army, from the military.
呢個亦都係來自軍隊一種嘅習慣。
When you have a king or you have a general,
係啦，如果你有一個君王，有一個將軍，
most of us are right hand.
我哋都佢嘅右手嘅馬仔。
So it means that when you are in the front line, you have a shield in your left arm and a sword at your right hand.
所以咧揸武器咧盾牌一定喺左邊嘅，你個劍啊或者係矛咧一定喺右邊。
So you are protected from your left, but you are not very protected from your right side.
所以咧係你保護自己係左邊嘅，右
And
邊
that's
就唔係。
why there would be always some soldier that is standing with a shield and protecting that general from his right side.
所以咧都係喺呢一邊咧保護佢嗰個將軍將領嘅。
So this is the concept of having someone to your right, serving, helping, protecting.
係馬仔。
哦
So we go on. If this is Jesus, okay, who would you guess this person is? John. Why John? What's that? No, exactly. You're right. Now, when you see how they were reclining, you understand very well
如果你見到佢哋咁樣坐喺度發咧，
why is it possible that John is reclining back on Jesus' chest.
所以咧，約翰咧就好容易就挨去耶穌個胸前。
He just moved back.
近少少就挨到啦。
Now, if you would take a normal table, it's not an easy thing to do, right?
係一般嘅可以咧，冇可能嘅。
But this is a very natural movement, just reclining back and you're on the person's chest.
所以咧，呢個係好自然嘅一個姿勢就可以挨嘅。
Now, it's interesting to see that John is doing such a thing to his rabbi, master, Lord.
所以咧，約翰咧就好自然咁樣對佢嘅老師拉比做呢個動作。
Right? It says that he's the beloved
因為
disciple.
佢係咧係神所以主所愛嗰個門徒。
Right? But he's the only one that says that he's the beloved disciple.
佢係唯一咧稱為主所愛嘅那門徒。
But he feels convenient to do that.
因為咁樣挨落係好方便嘅。
And Jesus doesn't tell him, hey, what are you doing?
耶穌唔會話你搞乜家科啊，家科。
But I'm sure that Jesus was happy that his disciples loved him.
但係耶穌咧好清楚佢門徒愛佢嘅。
Now, if this is Jesus and this is John,
如果呢個係耶穌，呢個係約翰，
we would try to guess who would sit here. Okay. If you tell me a name tell me
做
why.
猶大。
如果你有
Don't just say name.
如果你講名，請你講出個理由出嚟，唔好淨係一個名。
Not Peter.
是喎。
Why?
Why? Because the Bible said Judah kicked Yeshua. Kicked, right?
Oh, no, he didn't kick Yeshua, but we do guess that Judas was sitting somewhere here. We don't
咁啊，
know
大
for
概猶
certain,
大
but
喺
somewhere
呢
here.
個位置咁上下。
Why?
點解咧？
Because Jesus is telling his disciples, one of you going to betray me.
因為耶穌話其中一個門徒會出賣佢。
And say, who would it be?
咁人話邊個
And
啊？
what is Jesus' answer?
耶穌講咩啊？
The one that would dip bread with me in my plate.
咁咧就係咧拎起嗰個塊餅嚟染嗰啲嘅葡萄酒。
Now, dipping bread, it's a term for fellowship.
嗱，呢個染咧，呢個動作就係代表相交。
And it's not that everyone would have his own personal plate, but they would have several plates that everyone can eat from.
咁咧佢哋唔係話有自己嘅碟嘅，而係即係碟大家一齊共用嘅。
So if we think that this is John and this is Jesus, it has to be someone quite close to Jesus.
因為咧，如果呢個耶穌呢個約翰咧，猶大應該坐喺附近，以至耶穌可以容易咁樣係啦。
And also, if you remember later on, Jesus is telling Judas, okay, whatever you have to do, go and do it fast.
所以咧，耶穌就跟住同猶大講：你要做嘅嘢，趕快去做。
And the rest of the disciples, they don't really understand what Jesus is talking
咁
about.
啊，其他門徒都唔知耶穌噏乜，
They thought that he's telling him actually go and buy something.
以為耶穌叫佢出去買嘢，
But there was some conversation between them.
所以中間其實有個對話喺度。
So we guess that these sites, 1, 2, and somewhere over here, these are the people, Jesus, John, and Judas.
所以咧，約翰呢度咁啊，猶大唔係呢個位就呢個位㗎啦。
Now the last person that we can try and guess is
另一個我哋可能估到嘅，
Peter.
彼得。
Where would sit Peter?
彼得會坐邊度咧？
Any guess?
估下。
Over there.
應該坐嗰個位啦。
At the far end.
最盡頭嗰個位。
彼得
Why? Okay.
Peter
Two things.
兩個理由。
First of all, when Jesus is saying, one of you going to betray me,
當耶穌話你其中一個會出賣我，
we find that Peter
我哋揾到彼得咧
asking John
就問約翰啦，
to ask Jesus, who would it be?
佢就問約翰話邊個會做呢啲嘢啊？
Now, look at John when he sits here
如果約翰坐呢個位，
and look at his face.
你望下佢個樣，
Okay, he doesn't really see all the rest of the disciples behind him,
但
but
係其實咧佢睇唔到佢
he
後
has
邊嗰
an
啲
eye
門徒嘅
contact
樣啊。
somewhere with the other side.
所以佢嘅眼睛能夠接觸嘅就係
Now,
對面。
if Peter would be here, he would ask Jesus.
如果彼得坐呢個位嘅話咧，
But Peter is somewhere far from Jesus, so he can't really ask him, Jesus, come on, who would it
佢
be?
就根本冇可能同佢細細聲同佢講到嘢。
Now, also, as much as we understand,
咁啊，叫佢能夠了解嘅。
the two first people that are sitting at the table are the ones who are serving through the meal.
咁啊，坐呢度嘅位嘅人應該係服侍大家嘅。
Right? Someone has to go and bring more wine or
佢
bread.
咧要攞多啲酒啊，多啲餸嚟。
And if you remember, when Jesus, before they entered Jerusalem,
你記得啦，當耶穌佢哋進入耶路撒冷之前，
who did Jesus send to find the upper room?
耶穌差派邊個去揾嗰個嘅樓房咧？
John and Peter.
就係約翰同埋
He
彼
told
得。
them, go to Jerusalem, you would find the men carrying a jar of water,
係啊，
follow him.
你進入耶路撒冷，你見一個人咧揸住個啱喺你上邊，咁你跟住佢啦，
And he will show you that place.
佢就會指示你嗰個地方。
So these two ones were responsible to make sure that everything was set and ready.
所以兩個人咧就負責安排晒呢一切。
Now, if John is here, probably Peter's at the other side.
所以咧，如果係約翰呢度嘅話，彼得應該坐嗰度。
Now, they are all sitting around the table.
佢哋咧圍住張台而坐，
And they are talking a lot of time.
佢哋傾偈。
Now, when we talk about the Israelites,
我哋講緊以色列人，
when they come out of Egypt,
佢哋離開埃及之後，
and God is telling them to celebrate the
神
Passover,
吩咐佢哋要咧守逾越節。
God is telling them you have to do it very, very fast.
咁啊，神話要做得好快嘅要，
You have to be dressed with your jackets,
一定咧要着好衫，
with the staff in your hand,
揸住隻
with
拐
your
杖，
sandals on.
着好鞋。
Why?
點解？
Because the Egyptians soon gonna come.
因為埃及人會嚟，
So there is no time.
你冇時間，
It has to be in haste, fast.
一定要快。
But suddenly we find the Israelites, the Jewish people, celebrating, reclining for 2 hours.
但係咧，後尾你發覺咧，猶太人慶祝首次咧，趴到2個鐘頭嘅。
And the reason is that the moment the Israelites entered to the promised land,
因為咧，當以色列人進入迦南地之後，
the Jewish leadership said, okay, we're not running anymore from anyone.
咁咧佢哋就話啦，冇人再追趕我哋，
And we can stay here and do it normally and quietly.
咁我哋可以咧喺度安靜咁樣食啊。
Now, also when they were there, what are the products that's supposed to be in the meal?
咁啊食嘢應該食乜咧？
Bitter herbs,
有呢個咧係苦菜、
unleavened bread,
無酵餅，
and the lamb.
仲有羊羔。
These are the only 3 products that the Bible speaks about that's supposed to be in the Passover meal.
就應該逾節晚餐應該有嘅。
But if today you would come to a Passover meal of a Jewish family,
但係今日嚟到猶太人食呢個逾節晚餐咧，
the table is full of many other products.
哇！嗰入面咧好多嘢食㗎。
And how long does it take to celebrate the Passover meal?
咁啊食咁多嘢要花幾多時間啊？
2-3 hours.
2-3個鐘頭
And you
㗎。
don't eat anything, we just read. I don't do that, but never mind.
咁咧唔係就係食，仲要讀經㗎，仲要講好多嘢㗎。我就唔會講咁多嘢㗎。
that meal is the most important meal for the Jewish families.
咁啊對猶太人嚟講，一個最重要嘅晚餐。
Now, of course, we as Jewish people who believe in Jesus, we put a whole different emphasis about Jesus in that meal.
咁咧我哋既然信耶穌咧，我哋就將個逾節晚餐嘅重點放喺耶穌身上。
But so many things were added to the table.
咁啊，所以台上面加咗好多嘢。
And there is something which is called Haggadah,
咁啊，我哋有一套叫做講故事叫《哈格達》，
like a little book,
一本書仔嚟嘅。
that through that every Jewish family is reading and reading and reading and reading.
咁啊，每個猶太家人都會讀呢本嘅書。
But what you're really supposed to do is just to tell the story of the people in Egypt being freed by God. This is
咁啊，
what
基
God
本
is
上
saying.
就係裏邊講到有以色列人點樣出埃及嘅故事。
But in order to remember some of the stories, so they add things to the table.
咁啊，為咗使到故事能夠講得清楚，佢哋加咗啲嘢喺台上邊。
And for example, you can see this brown thing.
你計到咧，呢度咧係呢個嘅啡色、深啡色嘅嘢。
It's called the charoset.
呢個咧應該叫做咧泥漿啊。
And this looks like mud.
呢個樣好似泥漿咁。
And the purpose of it is to remind us the mud that the Israelites had to build the bricks out of it as slaves.
就係咧代表以色列人喺出埃及做奴隸嘅時候，用啲泥嚟做磚。
And every table has a cup with water and salt in it,
仲有
salt
咧係
water,
一碗鹽水，
in order to remind us the tears of the Israelites as being slaves in Egypt.
就代表猶太人、以色列人喺埃及咧做奴隸嗰種嘅痛苦流眼淚。
So once again, many products that are not mentioned in the Bible but were just added through the past 2,000 years.
咁所以咧，其實有好多嘢後嚟加上嘅聖經冇講嘅。
Now, they are sitting around the table with Jesus,
佢哋咧圍住張台同耶穌一齊坐喺度，
celebrating the feast.
守節。
But suddenly Jesus is doing something strange.
咁突然間耶穌做一啲好怪嘅嘢。
What was it?
Wash them。
Exactly.
係啦，耶穌洗佢哋嘅腳。
Now imagine that you would sit with the, I don't know, in the company with your boss, and suddenly he stands up, takes a towel, and starts to wash your feet.
你諗下，如果你公司裏邊一齊食飯，
How would you feel?
你老闆突然間要幫你洗腳，你會感覺乜如何？
Now, normally when people would enter a house, yes, someone would wash their feet.
冇錯啊，一般人入屋咧，人哋幫佢洗腳㗎。
But Jesus is not the one that's supposed to do that, right?
但係耶穌唔應該做呢樣嘢啊！
But Jesus is teaching them a very important lesson.
但係耶穌其實教訓係一個好重要嘅功課，
What are we celebrating over here?
就係我哋呢度慶祝為乜咧？
Freedom.
就係為咗自由。
But you say, well, as free people,
你話每一個自由人
we should all serve each other.
應該彼此嘅服侍，
Don't forget that.
千祈唔好忘記。
It doesn't matter if someone is more rich or smart or beautiful or famous.
不管你係咧有錢、聰明、靚仔、靚女，
Here, me, Jesus,
喺呢度咧，
the
我
Son
耶
of
穌
God,
俾你一個榜樣。
your teacher, your rabbi, your Lord,
我係你嘅主，係你嘅老師，
I'm going to wash your feet
我
one
要
after
洗
the other.
你哋嘅腳。
So he's teaching them a lesson through that meal too.
所以透過呢餐飯咧，就教佢哋一啲功課。
So before we're going to start eating now, what I want to do
好啦，食之前想做一樣嘢。
As I said, there are so many things that were added to the table which were not originally on that table.
既然咧加咗咁多嘢，聖經冇講嘅。
But I want to take two products that we know that were on the table during the time of Jesus.
裏邊有一樣嘢係耶穌嗰個時代係有嘅，
It's the bread and the grape juice.
就係咧呢個無酵餅同埋呢個嘅葡萄汁。
We read in the Gospels that they were blessing over that.
咁咧耶穌為呢樣嘢祝謝。
So we don't know what was exactly the blessing that they were using,
當然唔知佢祝謝嘅時候講啲乜嘢，
but we will do now the Jewish blessing over those
所以
products.
我哋都就按照猶太人一貫嘅嗰個祝謝嚟
So
祝
please
謝啦。
go back to your tables, open the grape juice,
請大家翻返你嘅座位，
Put it in
為
the
嗰
small
樽葡
cup.
萄汁開樽開蓋，
put in the small cup some of the grape
然後咧
juice,
倒落個杯仔度。
and the moment you have it ready, hold it in your right hand.
咁跟完之後咧，用右手揸住個杯。 In the small cup 嚟，
Yeah.
係啊，放喺杯仔裏邊，倒落杯仔嗰度。
Okay, does everyone have a cup?
個人都有一杯葡萄汁啊！